Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Akash. If you are new, my name is Akash and I create characters. I'm a senior character artist at Ubisoft, and now I'm starting a new series where we will create assets, characters, whatever you name it, in Blender. So this is gonna be an introduction. I hope it's recording my audio because the first time it didn't do it. So I'm doing this bit again. So we'll be starting in Blender, and especially for those guys who wants to go into 3D, wants to learn the basic fundamentals of 3D, because software doesn't matter if it's Maya, Max, functionalities are always same. So software doesn't matter. So we'll start with Blender basics, the modeling, texturing, unwrapping, everything, materials, and the UI, how you do certain things in Blender, complex modeling, easy modeling, and techniques. So this is for those guys who wants to get into the industry or maybe wants to learn Blender, or if you already are coming from a software like Maya or Max, I'll show you some techniques if you're comfortable with Maya and Max, so that few things that can make Blender more comfortable for you. So yeah, those are the stuff that I wanted to say. And yes, so if you wanna if you wanna download Blender, how to download it? You just need to type download Blender 4. Download Blender 4. The first link you will get from blender.org org, so that you will click and you can download Blender 4. So this is gonna be an good insight for Blender 4 as well. So if you want to know how the Blender 4 looks, if you want to know modeling, or if you want to keep up with the Blender versions, you can watch this course. So it's gonna be a multiple parts video. I have already downloaded it. Let me open it and let's begin. So hit like as a class fee, and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, and if you want to know more about Blender or sculpting or ZBrush, because I won't be stopping ZBrush, sculpting in ZBrush or anything tutorial for ZBrush. I'll be making them in parallel, some characters in ZBrush, some things, some props in Blender. So yeah, that is that. So if you think that I should know ZBrush, it's not the case. I will teach you sculpting here as well in Blender. So you just need one package. That's the goal here, to teach you one thing, one set of software, or one software which can do everything, and that is free. The most important part here is free. If you are new, if you are a student, or if you're someone who is curious about 3D, or you want it as a hobby, you can create some art here. Okie dokie. So let's go. As soon as you start Blender, you will be welcomed by that screen where you can select general. Like if you go new, you can select general, and you will be welcomed by these three assets, which is a light, a mesh, which is a cube, and a camera. So these two you won't be needing it in the beginning, but if you want, you can keep it. Otherwise you can delete. Press A to select everything and delete everything by hitting the delete. Okay, I hope you get it till here, because this is the UI. I'm not gonna go in all the things in every menu and whatnot. That will be covered by doing some things, by creating assets. So there we go. If you want to know more, it's you can. There are plenty of other videos, but on a brief, I can say that the layout mode is mainly for laying out your scene. If you want to add or delete anything, you can do it in layout mode. You can also do modeling in layout mode, but there we have another separate tab for modeling, which is the same thing. Sculpting is totally different. You can sculpt here. UV editing, you can do the UVs, texture painting, shading, etc. You can do node based shading here. So we will cover one by one while we create whatever we want to do. Okay, so first let's start very quickly with the interface and navigation. Okay, so once you will start Blender, it will ask you what you want to do with your spacebar. You want it to have I don't know, I lost it because I already selected it. So you can hit spacebar to play this. You can hit spacebar for tools. I kept it for tools, so if you press spacebar, the toolbox will come up. It's the basic set of tools which you can find it here as well. But I don't want to go there. So that's the thing. Now, if you want to add any object, Shift A is your best friend. Shift A to add. And let's add a cube. How am I rotating it? By pressing the middle mouse button. Whatever you do, it's just the middle mouse button. Not left, not right, nothing. If you want to pan, just Shift and middle mouse button. Shift plus middle mouse is panning. Just middle mouse is tumbling, which is rotating, and Control plus middle mouse is zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so that's the navigation for you. It's easy, try it out. And if you are coming from Maya, if you're someone who's coming from Maya, you don't like how the Blender works in a way with the grab, rotate or scale WER, which is in Maya and Max. So here it's G, and you can move it around in the locals screen space. So right now it's not on left, it's on the bottom right, and now it's on the top right, and it can go beyond grid, above grid, and so on. So there is no control over here. So to have a control, you can press G, and while moving you can there's these axes. So red, is X, Y, green, it's Y, and Z is Z, which is blue. So while once you tap G, you will get in a free floating mode, which is you can move it around, but as soon as you press X, it's gonna lock it in one axis, Y in other axis, and Z in the in the Z axis, which is up and down. So that is one way to do it. Other way is G, X, and putting a value like 80 and click, and it went somewhere there. So that's the thing. Another way to move around object is to press G and then hold middle mouse button and lock this dotted line you're seeing. You can lock it on any of the axes, and as soon as you release the middle mouse button, you can move it around. Another way, which is my favorite and which is what I use, is Shift G, Shift R, and Shift S. That will brings in the gizmo. You can select it from here, but as I said, I don't want to go here. So sorry, it's not Shift, it's Space G to bring in the gizmo, and there you can place it. Space R to rotate it in this axis, everything. Space S to scale it up, down, or skew it in certain angles. If you get it, repeat that again. Space G, Space R, and Space S. So yes, that's my favorite way. One more thing I would like to say, if you maybe rotate it and you want to move it along the local axis, how do you do that? You come here into the default and select local. Now the object is going to move in this way. If you press Space and R, set that to local as well. Now the axis the rotation handles are also rotated, so you can easily rotate them. Otherwise it would have been rotated like this. Whatever is your requirement, do it in that way. So that's the basics of it. So some of the things, let's do it really quickly, then we will start with the modeling. So here you can find the wireframe. If needed, you can change the opacity. That's the main thing. If you want to change switch to wireframe, here you can tap into these icons: the wireframe, the shaded, the material, and the render mode. These are 4 options which you can find by hitting Z, and going left to wireframe, right to shaded, and render, material. There we go. Okay, let's turn off the wireframe real quick, and what is next? If you want to look, if you don't like the way how it looks, you can change the look of the material by going into there, and you can select multiples. Like if you want studio, if you want matte cap, there are multiple matte caps. If you want to check the shading, you can do that. It's highly reflective material. It's just for show, you can't render it this way. Render, if you want to see how the render looks, you can go to render view. It's still the same how the material is assigned here. Here you can see the materials and there is nothing, so it's great. Let's go back to solid and let's select our studio. You can select whatever you want. For me, the basic one at the moment is nice. Okay, cool. So for the properties of objects, you can go here and find, if you press N, if you don't want to press N, you can press this little arrow. There you have it, the location, the rotation, and the scale. Okay, cool. Now let's keep it aside. Press N and move it inside. Here we have the modifier, which we will cover it in the next video. For now, this is pretty much it for you. You practice it and create it. Try creating new objects. Shift A in meshes. You can append the UV sphere, you can append cylinders, you can append cones, whatever. So do that. Try to get comfortable with the navigation, the rotation, tumbling, tumble, track, dolly. That's what we say in the VFX language. So this zooming, zoom out, rotating, and panning. So that is there, and so we will be creating a mouse. As I said, I lost the video in the first part, so there are a few bits which is already created. Let me repeat that. So I did what I did. I added a cube. I hit spacebar plus S for the scaling. Now mouse is something like this. Yeah. Okay. A little something like this. Let's suppose, and I had space G. Hit if you press 1, it will go into the front view or the back. It says front view. Yeah, it's front view. And if you press 3, it will go into the right view. If you press 5, it will go into the perspective, and then the orthographic. The 7 is top view, and 8 is 9 is bottom. That's how it is. If you are having trouble getting with these shortcuts, what I was saying, these are numpad keys: 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. These are alternate. Okay. So if you find that difficult, you can click on any of these axes to switch the views, or if you are rotating and if you press Alt, it's gonna snap to that view like so. You just have to hold Alt E if you're using Windows. Okay, so let's suppose if you want to edit any vertices. What is the vertices? Vertices is a point, and 4 vertices, all 3 vertices make a face. Face is this guy. Okay, edge is a where the 2 vertices connects. That is an edge. All right, simple, easy, simple and easy. Okay, so if you press Tab, you can go into the edit mode, and if you press 1, you can go into the vertices mode. Here you can see vertices, edges, and faces. These are the 3 modes: 1, 2, 3. So if you are in vertices, you can select vertices and space G to change the position of that vertices. Or if you want to select face, press 3, select the face, space S, then you can scale down the face. That's how you edit the geometry. If you are in any mode, let's say vertices, if you want to add a loop cut here, press Ctrl or R, R for run, and you can hover here and there and see if how the loop changes. It's the preview. The loop is not added. As soon as you click, the loop is added, but still you can move it wherever you want to place it. That's how we place the supporting edges to have it some less rounded features, or not such very rounded corner. You add subdivision surface modifier. If it doesn't work, if my thing doesn't make sense, don't worry, it will in the next one. So if you want to place it in the middle, just right click and click back to the middle, press OK. space G, and there we go, something like this. We can easily create our mouse like this. Yeah? So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me say goodbye to you. I'll see you in the next one. Hit like if you like the video. It helps me out as well. And if you like the series, let me know in the comments. If you want to know more about Blender, stick with me, stick to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Take care. Bye bye.